over 70 years old, hasn't been driven in a decade. This little Jeep helped change the world, and now it's my turn to be a part of that history and bring it back to life. Hey everyone, welcome back to Atlas Expeditions. Today I would like to introduce you guys to my newest and my oldest project, a 1950 Jeep Willys Flat Fender. It's rusty, it's dirty, and it is barely put together, but this thing is a direct descendant of the Jeep that helped win World War II, and by the end of this series, we're bringing it back to life. The lines are unmistakable. That narrow grille, flat fenders, and simple dash. Some parts are original, some are missing, and some I have no idea about yet. It's like opening a mechanical time capsule. My garage smells like 70-year-old oil and chemically treated military canvas seats. And honestly, I'm not mad about it. This particular Jeep is titled as a CJ2A, but it has a lot of components that an M38 would have had. And it wasn't uncommon back in the day for people to use CJ2A nameplates to title military surplus vehicles. It's normal to see parts mixed together between civilian and military versions and earlier and later versions of these old flat fenders because they were all very interchangeable. This Jeep came to me almost completely stripped down. I have tons of parts for it, an extra engine, an extra hood, an extra radiator, and just everything was in boxes. So I've done a lot of work behind the scenes and off camera just to get it to this point. To understand this Jeep, you've got to go all the way back to 1940. The US Army needed a lightweight 4x4, something tough, simple, and reliable, and they needed it fast. So fast, the first prototype had to be delivered in just 49 days. 3 companies stepped up to the challenge: Willys, Ford, and Bantam. Their designs would merge into one iconic vehicle, the World War II Jeep. It could go anywhere, do anything. General Eisenhower even called the Jeep one of the 4 tools that won the war. It hauled wounded soldiers, pulled artillery, laid communication wire, even ran as a field ambulance, and, believe it or not, a railway vehicle. And after the war, Willys kept that same DNA and built the CJ, or civilian Jeep. My Jeep is possibly one of those early civilian models built before Jeeps became the modern rigs we know today. This isn't just another Jeep project for my channel to me. This is about preserving a piece of American mechanical history. Every dent, every bolt, every rusted panel on this Jeep tells a story. It's like having a museum piece in my garage. There is so much history here. Think about it. This may have started its life on a military base in the 50s, been used on a farm in the 70s, or even as an off-road toy in the 90s. And now, it's in my garage, waiting for its next chapter. Now let's talk reality. This Jeep does not run or drive. It has a long road ahead of it. There was 0 wiring in this Jeep. I bought a whole new wiring harness for it, and I am slowly figuring out where to land all these wires. Part of what makes that wiring fun is that the military versions of these Jeeps were 24-volt systems, the civilian versions were 6-volt systems, and modern vehicles are a 12-volt system. So I've put a new battery in here, modified the battery mount, I have run new positive and negative cables. I have added a few newer components in there. I swapped the old generator out for an alternator. By doing that, I had to swap the ammeter out for a voltmeter. And it's really hard to just find clear schematics on this because of the 24 volt, 6 volt, 12 volt mess I'm in. I've got an ignition wired up. I have a new gas tank I've put in. I need to run new fuel lines. I have no idea about the brakes or any of the driveline components, the 4x4 system, or any of that in here. I know the tires are all pretty shot from sitting for so long. I've converted some of the old military marker lights, which showed very minimal lighting, to turn signals. The rear lights, again, because they're a military version, they were real low lighting, so you wouldn't be seen by enemy troops. I've converted those to large red lenses, so I can drive it on the road and people can see when I'm braking. I still need to get my axe and shovel mounted, but I have to actually drill the mounting locations on there and attach the mounts. Both of the diffs and the transfer case are all wet down here, so I'm sure there's lots of seals that need replaced. I also still need to replace the fluids. I've got new headlights in here. I still want to get a winch mounted in here, which I'm going to fabricate something there for a winch mount. But with all of that said, this thing has incredibly strong bones. It is very solid. Any rust is just surface rust. It's actually in way better shape than my TJ was. This thing is a mess. It's over 70 years old. It's 38 years older than me. Who knows what gremlins this thing is hiding? But that's all part of the fun. So here's the plan. I don't want a show vehicle. I want a vehicle that I can use. We're going to get this thing wired up and running. We're going to see what the driveline and brakes need, and we're going to salvage what we can and replace what we can't. I plan on taking this thing on trails, driving it around town, and I've actually got some exciting plans for next year with Scott from Trail Expedition involving both of our Flat Fenders. So make sure you guys follow along with this series to see what that is. I'm going to start wrapping this up. You guys be sure to tune into the next episode to see if we can get this fuel system sorted out and get this thing really running for the first time in 15 years. I appreciate everyone who's subscribed to the channel. If you guys are not subscribed, please be sure to subscribe. This is going to be a fun little series, and it's definitely going to culminate in an interesting little adventure that you're not going to want to miss. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think of this new series and this Jeep in general. I love hearing from everyone, and all of that interaction always helps the videos. So I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Tastes like freedom in here.